Yeah, hello everyone, BP Brother here, this time with a video response. Yeah, I know that doesn't happen too often, but yeah, I finally can make one, since it is a topic that I actually know stuff about, because I have been into it for a very long time. So BigAl made a rant about wrestling and the meaning of entertainment in it, back then compared to nowadays and what it is like in other countries, like Japan for instance. And he made some pretty good points, and he explained pretty well why wrestling has fallen a little apart compared to the 80s or even 90s, and also why wrestling cannot be taken seriously at all. I mean, if you do take wrestling for like real friggin' business, you've got to be out of your mind, because there's no way that one, they're gonna allow two people beating each other up on purpose. Two, all the drama that's involved, that people are lying, trash talking over each other. So there's no way this is going to be real, because everything in wrestling is a show. It's scripted right from the start. If there are two wrestlers stepping into the ring, it's already predetermined who's going to win this. I mean, if you deny that fact, if you really believe there are two wrestlers entering the ring, the best one's going to win, you are wrong. It's based on the decisions the organization makes, the storyline that has been written for each of these wrestlers. That's based on that, nothing else. All the matches are fake, the results at least. I mean, some of the movements, especially the ones that require some artistic performance, they might hurt, probably not them, but if we would stand in the ring, we would probably hurt ourselves when we get hit by a moonsault, for instance. But yeah, pretty much all about wrestling is unreal. It's fake, it's made up, it's just to entertain you. And what I do very often is comparing wrestling to a daily soap, because that's what it really is. We have like 50 to 60% drama. You've got the wrestlers trash talking over each other, making shit up, telling lies, betraying each other, making friends, abandoning each other, all that stuff, what's happening in wrestling so often. And yeah, then they have like the fights that have moved into the background a little bit. Back in the 80s, I don't know about the 80s, but I do about the 90s. It was all about fighting. When there was drama, it was something like, I'm gonna beat you up. That was all, basically. And nowadays that had changed. There's so much stuff. They talk the whole time, and they have like these backdoor scenes, cabinet scenes, in which secret stuff happens, that you're not supposed to see, but of course you can see it. I mean, have you never really asked yourself why, if there's a precarious situation that apparently nobody's supposed to see, why there are cameras? Because it's a show. It's all made up. And if you don't get that by now, I don't know what's wrong with you. I mean, really. But if you see it as what it is, it's a show, you can enjoy wrestling, back then and also nowadays. Although there's too much drama, at least for my taste, there's too much drama in it nowadays, but it's okay. If you like that kind of stuff, if you not taking it for real friggin' business, it's okay. The last time I was watching wrestling on a regular basis was in like 2004, 2005, and then I stopped watching it. I mean, at that time I think Eddie Guerrero was still alive. I was surprised that he has passed away, really, because he used to be one of my favorites. Except that time when he had that feud with Rey Mysterio, I thought that was very retarded, and I hated him for that, really. But yeah, he was a good wrestler, very entertaining. He made some good shit, very funny, and it's sad that he's no longer there. But yeah, I used to be a great wrestling fan, but I stopped watching it because of the drama. That's one point. The second reason is for the pussy referees. The referees are fucking wimps. I mean, they get knocked out so easily. Even if, I bet if a fly sits on their head, they also get knocked out. I mean, what's the point of that? It's not very believable if a wrestler gets in contact with a referee and the referee bounces back into the ropes and then right on the floor being unconscious. That's just not very believable. And that's causing the third problem, what made me stop watching wrestling, the interferences by other wrestlers. Because you have like two wrestlers stepping into the ring, you believe it is fair, or you at least hope it's gonna be a fair fight, but then some douchebag storms into the hall and interferes into the match, attacking one wrestler or doing some, like dropping a chair into the ring, stuff like that. And I know this has happened in the past as well, but not as much as it is happening nowadays. And that is very, very annoying. I mean, I occasionally watch wrestling, even today. If I can, if I zip through the channels and I see some wrestling, I usually step by and watch some of it. But only for the fact that there are two men in the ring trying to crap each other out, okay? I'm not giving a shit about the drama anymore. I don't care for that stuff. I'm just watching it for the action. And yeah, that's... I do agree that wrestling has fallen apart at some point because it's too much drama. It's not real at all. Even most of the moves are not real. I mean, you see like punching one wrestler, the other one in the face, but actually he doesn't because the cameras are looking away. I mean, at least in our country it is like that, because we're living over here in Europe. That's another problem. Once we get to see what's happening in WWE, for instance, there are already 5 or 6 days passing by. So there's a huge delay. We are never up to date what's happening. And then the best scenes of the match are cut out. You know, you see like doing... The Undertaker doing I don't know, some move from the ropes, and just a second before he hits with that move, the picture stops for a second and there's slightly, you know, moving over to another scene, and they step back right into the moment the move was pulled off, so you don't see the entire action. That's really annoying. They didn't do that many years ago when I was watching it. You know, they didn't do that shit. And they're also peeping out the cuss words, which is stupid. Don't do that, because that's the fun. You know, when wrestlers beat like trash talking over each other, you know, that's at least the fun that I can get out of the drama, is when they insult each other. You know, doing the mind games, even if they are fake. But you know, that's what we all know. But yeah, nowadays I don't watch wrestling, at least not on a regular basis, you know, just for the fun, just for the fact that there are wrestlers beating each other up, you know. But other than that, wrestling is pretty much pointless. It's not as good as it used to be. I totally agree with that on BigAl. I don't know what it is like in Japan. I think they are focusing more on the fights rather than the drama. And if that's the case, you know, you better watch that instead of WWE or TNA. And I also don't get the point why WWE fans say that TNA sucks or that RHO sucks. It's all the same. You know, even wrestlers are changing organizations. I mean, I've seen a wrestling video an hour ago where The Undertaker was in TNA. Okay? You never know in which organization he's going to be next year. They are just having contracts, and they are changing these contracts on a yearly basis. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. It was a good rant, BigAl. Keep doing these, keep them coming, and I'm gonna see you in the near future.